welcome to the ProducePodcast, episode 13.
It's a bad number.
Oh shit, it is a bad number, isn't it? That's not good.
Makes sense.
Here at the Podcast, we want to make sure everyone's trips are safe.
Okay.
That's because that has to do with fruit.
Yeah, okay. You check these mics beforehand?
Yes, yeah,
okay.
we're fine.
Okay. Hello everybody, I'm Mongo.
And I'm Pear.
And just jump right into it, I guess.
Well, not really. We got to do the bullshit of saying, so, I guess actually we don't do the rules this time.
Yeah.
So normally on a podcast, we would do it so if one of us says each other's names, then we would have to take a shot of apple cider vinegar. But due to today being Mango's probably final episode for some time, we decided against it. So if someone gets a name wrong, nothing bad happens this time. It's a total normal episode. We would prefer to say each other's fruit names, but if we get it wrong, there's no punishment today. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess we'll start with our food topic.
Yeah. I really wonder what the audio is going to sound like with all this echo.
This is actually a much better setup now that we're in this room because I can see it way better and I can see it live and I have the microphone right here in front of me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying
I can be really loud if I want to.
I'm just saying what it's going to sound like with the echo.
I don't know. I'm more worried, but I'm sorry, actually, I probably should bring this up before. In our last episode, I didn't realize until after we had already recorded everything and it was uploaded that we've been trying out some new wire stuff to help make our audio better for the future. And there was this popping noise that would not stop, and it is due to this wire. We might get it this episode as well, so apologize before if that happens. We are trying to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my train of thought.
First topic.
Oh, yeah. Our first topic today is about food, as always, and it is how last week, on our last episode 12, we taught Avocado how to cook.
Yeah,
Cook, quote unquote.
Air quotes.
So, here's a little thing about Avocado. He's not very capable when it comes to things. He did not know how to boil water, which I had never seen in my life before. But yeah, he did not know how to boil water, and he did not know how to stir with a ladle or a spatula of any kind. Yeah. It was very odd.
We made pasta, and I figured that's about what his capabilities would be, but...
Yeah, I was going to make him debone a chicken, but I realize now that was probably way too tough if he did not know how to boil water.
No knife skills or anything. Didn't he say, put your fingers on top of, the thing you're cutting?
It wasn't very good. He's going to be mad if he listens to this, even though he won't be, because he's the one who puts our time codes in.
Yeah.
Time code? Whatever.
Timestamps.
Timestamps. Yeah, so if he listens to this, fuck you, Avocado. That was a quick food topic. Sorry, I didn't have a good one written down already.
Yeah.
Do you want to do sad stuff about you leaving, or do you want to...
What kind of sad stuff?
How are you feeling? How was your 3-month trip over here?
It was really nice. I had a lot of fun, and I'm sad to be going home.
So for those of you who don't know, Mango is not from the state that we are currently in at the moment.
The mystical state of Nunya.
Of Fruitland.
Of Fruitland.
She doesn't live in this aisle of the grocery store.
Yeah, because mangos aren't real fruit.
That's a much better fruit topic than what we talked about. So yeah, she's not going to be here for quite some time, so we will have a new guest star. This episode will probably be going up, I imagine, this Saturday or next Saturday. I want to give some time and space beforehand so I can figure out stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there also might be a big gap between episodes for a while because things will be very hard to do without another co-host, and I don't think doing a podcast with one person is probably the best idea by myself. But yeah, how was your trip?
It's good.
Was there anything cool?
Cool in the sense of like general. I mean, it's cool things to me, but
I mean, this is probably, 'cause you've went on vacation before, but you've probably never been on this long vacation where you're basically here for a whole year.
without my family, yeah.
So this is like your final thoughts. Like, what did you think, beginning to end? Like, any days that you were like, man, I fucking wish I was back home.
No, not at all. Not a single time.
I mean, it was really nice having you over here.
Well, I'm glad.
You were a great co-host.
I hope so.
I mean, you'll be coming back at some point.
At some point, yeah.
It'll probably be like 4 or 5 episodes till then, but that's not.
4 or 5 episodes?
Or
Don't we do 2 of these
8.
like weekly supposed to be?
Yeah, but we do it kind of more often. It's been like once a week.
Yeah, okay. 4 or 5 episodes, that's like a month.
It's a month and a week.
Yeah, and it probably will be longer after that.
Well, still.
Unless
You won't be gone for very long, so it's not that bad. Okay, how about, this could be a food topic. Food-wise, how did you compare it here to over there?
I'm going to miss Quick Trip so much. Like, I was thinking about that yesterday when we were talking, and I said Quick Trip pizza because I was like, fuck, I'm not going to have that. And that's, like, one of the best pizzas I've ever had.
Are you serious? Gas
Yeah.
station. I mean, Quick Trip is, like, really good.
Yeah. I'm going to be really sad.
Not sponsored, by the way.
They need to put one near where I'm at.
Although Quick Trip, if you want to sponsor us, I'll totally do it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll sponsor us.
Quick Trip's the only food thing you're going to miss.
I'm going to miss, like, Corner Cafe, but not, like, the food itself, but, like...
The atmosphere?
What the atmosphere and what, you know, it represents, I guess. Like, you know, because...
What about stuff like Twisted Fresh and...
I mean, they've burnt my burgers a bunch, so...
What about people-wise?
Well, of course I'm going to miss everybody in the Produce Pals, so...
Produce Pals.
Yeah, the Produce group. I'm going to miss, you know, you, Pear, and I'm going to miss avocado and apple and banana and strawberry and tomato and... I'm trying to think. Is it grape? I can't think of his name right now.
Who?
Oh,
it's Plum.
Oh, yeah. Female is...
Banana, strawberry, tomato, apple, plum.
I was thinking
Pear.
purple, so I was like...
Plums are purple.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting confused between plum and grape. Nobody's going to miss me, though.
Experience-wise, what are your things that you thought, or that you have never experienced before that was the first time over here?
Probably a lot of animals. I can't say I've done anything of concept that was unique besides, like, seeing certain animals. Probably No, I've seen, like, nature-type areas. It's just not where I live. But saw some deer, some cardinals, some blue jays, a lot of
I
squirrels.
thought you were going to say, like, going to a drive-in movie for the first time.
Oh, but that was, like, our first trip.
I know, but this to me, this is, like, your full-on review, because this is the end-all, be-all.
Yeah,
shit.
I've never been to a drive-in movie theater, and that was really fun, sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, nobody else had a good time.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you couldn't have a good time.
I just felt bad because I felt like I dragged everybody
It
there.
was drive-in movie theater, power play.
I mean, I've been
You got to see a
to
river. That's nature.
I've been to an arcade and a river before, but I did enjoy power play specifically, and I also enjoyed seeing the big spook river with you.
I'm gonna miss you.
Me too.
You want to get into the other topics?
If you don't have any other thing to say about that.
Is there anything you want to say, like final thoughts?
Final thoughts? I mean,
This could be the depressing episode too, if you wanted to be. I could erase everything on here.
No. Depressing episode probably won't be until I get back. Because I feel like doing a depressing episode on the...
I mean, this is a sad episode already.
Yeah, but it's not depressing. I don't want to talk about childhood trauma.
I'm okay. I guess that's fair. All right. First actual topic. Was there any movie as a kid that your parents forced you to watch?
I know there was a lot that I was not allowed to watch, but...
Like there was no family traditional movie that they're like, no, you're watching this. I don't care.
No,
if you
I've
don't want
never had that.
Dude, that shit was constant as fuck
I've
in my
seen
family.
a lot of movies because my dad likes to rewatch movies. So, like, he always watches certain Christmas movies every year, and that was basically forcing me to, but it's not like he was like, hey, you need to watch this movie.
My mom forced me to watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang because she's made my brother as well as my father watch it with her, and every year she forced me to watch Charlie Brown Christmas.
That's kind of a weird thing, like, forcing someone to watch a movie that, especially if they've already seen it.
It was not a good time.
It's kind of like the family call that we were supposed to do, where they read the same book every year, and it's like we all know what's gonna happen. We all know the book. It's the same 2 books. I like spending time with my grandparents, but my God, I'm so tired of those 2 books. They have been read every year since I have been, like, conscious and sentient.
It's like white noise for a story.
Yeah. And they're like, no, we have to do it before we do the presents.
That when Christmas time over here, when my mom was still living with us, she was like, all right, guys, when you're opening your presents, I'm going to take a photo of every single present before you open it, and then when you open it and your reaction to opening it. And then she also had a second camera going that would record the entire thing.
So the second camera is just
recording her saying, hey, all right, show the gift, open the gift, show the gift, and your reaction.
I always hated taking the reaction videos, picture, because it's like, no matter how I felt about it, I'm going to have to fake it a second time.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I thought it was good, I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, take a picture. And I'm like, yeah. And I hate when they're like, oh, do you like it? Like, you're going to get upset with me if I say no. So
my mom was the same way.
This is a lose-lose situation. But as an adult, I've had a more healthier relationship when it comes to presents with certain people. Where I can say, I don't like it. I don't think it's something I'd use.
The default gift.
And they're like, okay, well, we can exchange it or, whatever.
We'll probably have a whole episode on the default gift.
Yeah.
That shit drives me insane.
But my dad's the worst when it comes to, I don't like this gift. One year, all he bought me was PlayStation 4 games. All of them were garbage. I got Deadpool. I got, 2 shooter games. I think Watch Dogs. Legion. I don't even remember playing it.
My dad one year got me Killzone Shadowfall.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, for good reason. I could not. Okay, so I had no idea what it was either. But
Yeah.
it was I was still kind of newish to getting a PS4, and I'm like, oh, cool, a game, awesome. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna play it. Put it in my console. I couldn't get through the tutorial without the game messing up. Not because my PlayStation would crash, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Where it would come up. That's not what would happen. I had a time where I opened up the game and I fell through the map. Mm-hmm. I had a time where I opened up the game and it would not let me shoot the gun to defeat the tutorial. And so I just kept dying over and over again. I had times where the screen would just freeze, and then, or it would erase, if I did get past the tutorial, then it would delete my save file and put me back at the beginning of the game.
That's pretty weird.
It was really bad. And then I sold it and I got $2 for it. So I'm assuming it wasn't a very popular game.
Yeah. But going back to my dad and that year specifically, I didn't like any of the games. And I was like, maybe I'll play Deadpool, but I don't think I will.
Deadpool's a
And
really
he
overrated
was
character.
and he was so upset because he bought me like I think they were down priced because they were older games. I think like Deadpool's not a new
It came out in
game,
like 2014.
and so I'm assuming even though if each one, my throat's getting all weird, but I'm assuming if each one of those were at least $10, it would have been at least $70 at like base price.
Getting offended about giving a gift to someone that you spent less than $10 on and you didn't put any thought into is kind of ridiculous to me. It's like, what? I got this $2 movie from the bargain bin and you don't like it? Fuck you.
But yeah. So now he just gives me money because he doesn't know anything about me.
Flashbacks. Next topic actually has to do with movies. Speaking of movies, guess what movie is this isn't super recent in the news. Guess what movie is gonna...
Godzilla versus...
No.
What?
This is a movie that we haven't gotten a trailer for.
Okay.
It's set to release in 2023. But it was all over Twitter a couple days ago. So it was kind of old news, I guess, rather. I don't know if you saw it. So, it's of an old classic movie that was extremely popular and is like, I wouldn't even say a cult classic, but everyone knows the movie.
Okay.
It has to do with candy. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, that completely got wiped out of my mind because it seems so insignificant.
I think it's the weirdest thing that it's getting a prequel movie about how...
They already remade the movie to make it more edgy. Like, we don't need this.
Getting a prequel movie about how fucking Wonka, before he even had the factory, and I guess his life as either a young adult or a kid or some shit.
Yeah.
And I don't see why it's necessary.
None of these, like, prequels ever are.
Like, it's probably not even going to be about chocolate. Is it just going to be about how he figures out, oh man, candy is the shit, so I
How
want to make
he enslaves the Oompa Loompa race.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a Despicable Me movie. it's going to be fucking Minions 2 on how Gru grew up and got the minions.
Oh boy. Has that movie came out yet?
I don't know. Do you think I fucking watched Minions?
No, I'm just saying, because, like, before COVID, up till now is such a blur. Like, that, between now and when the quarantine first started, I can't tell when things happen. If you told me something happened 2 years ago, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I can't believe we're in quarantine for a whole last year.
Yeah.
Like, we're coming up on March again, and it's just like, wow.
Like, I feel like March, because, you know, it's my birthday, it's my birth month. I'm like, didn't my birthday happen, like, 3 months ago at max?
To me, it's just like fucking King Crimson came out of nowhere and just fucked my shit over.
Yeah. Like, I'm aware that things happened, but I feel like nothing happened at the same time between that time. Like, I feel like there's all these blank spaces in my memory because of just the stagnant.
I know this has been said to death already, but in 2019, like, as coming up to 2020, I had so many plans. I'm like, oh man, I'm losing weight. It's going good. You're coming over here for your first trip ever. It's going to be great. You know, I got my car, and it's going to be awesome. 2020 starts, get into a car accident, almost die, have to get a new car. You come over here, COVID starts, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And it's like, holy shit, fuck, man.
Yeah. I mean, I only had really one plan, and I've fulfilled it. But, man, shit sucks.
You feel unsatisfied with
No, I'm just saying, shit sucks everywhere else. Like, everything I've tried to do, like my sub quests or whatever, side quests have all just been like my main quest was fulfilled, but like every other little thing that I thought about doing, gone, obliterated. I can't even remember what all the stuff I wanted to do.
That's how I feel, yeah. I mean, see, this is gonna sound terrible. I'm happy the quarantine's starting to sort of end. It seems like,
Yeah.
and school's back in session. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I kind of miss those days of just sitting at home and being like, yeah, I'm going to do absolutely nothing.
No
I'm just
pressure.
Gonna chill the fuck out. And now I'm going to be like, all right, time to... That year was like everyone... Well, I'm not going to say that. That's bad now that I think about it. That year was my specifically sort of vacation. Now I feel like I dug myself into a hole, and I feel really bad for the thing I almost said.
Yeah. I mean, for some people it was good.
A lot of people it was bad.
Yeah.
I could not say this was a good event in the slightest.
No. I'm just saying most people had a chance to relax, and then the sense of I have nothing to do or there's nothing going on, or I'm losing my house because I lost my job just started to set in very quickly.
For like most of my family, COVID stuff was actually pretty good. And my dad got time off paid for, which he never gets. Mm-hmm. And my brother got a stimulus check, and he's really trying to get a house, so it was really helping him out.
Speaking of stimulus.
I got time off work and got paid for it, and it was pretty good. Like, for my family, it was pretty good. And then for a lot of my friends, it was, like, devastating.
Yeah. My dad couldn't, work slowed down a lot for him because he does, like, odd jobs type beat stuff, but mostly like moving, like that's his main thing. And my uncle started doing stand-up comedy a few months before, and then they had to shut down the comedy clubs. But yeah, most of my family got fucked, but a certain person in my house didn't really change anything.
Would you consider this the season finale?
Probably.
I would too. I think I'm going to put it in the title somewhere. I'd be like, Mango leaves the season finale. Mango dies in Infinity War.
Every 13 episode of season ends.
That's not bad. I mean, 12 episodes is a typical show.
I'll have to, get a new animation for you.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah. So, go follow...
No.
All right, next topic. Well, I guess this isn't really a topic, but Biden and being inaugurated. I can't say words. You know what I mean.
Yeah. What?
I think I said egg-inaugurated.
Okay.
New president just dropped.
Yeah.
How's that? What do you think?
I mean, I haven't been affected by it so far.
Cool. All right, next topic.
But I wanted to say, regardless of what people feel about the stimulus check, it's just ridiculous that no decision has been made throughout this entire time. Like, barely.
Yeah, I feel like the government's been just really wasting time.
Yeah.
On a big-ass filler arc.
If you're not going to give it to the people, then just say you're not going to do it. It's going to be disappointing for a lot of people.
Yeah, but don't lead them on.
Yeah. Oh, you want a $2,000 stimulus?
Well, we're still discussing it.
Yeah. Anyways, that's basically what I wanted to say without getting too political. But
I don't mean to get political or anything here on the podcast, but what the fuck is oatmeal?
The fuck is oatmeal?
This isn't really much of a topic, but what do you think about Black Widow being pushed back for like the 5th time?
I mean, personally, I don't care.
But you've seen every single MCU movie.
Not by choice.
You're like the biggest fan.
Not by choice. I saw someone say the other day, like on their account, they posted like an edit or whatever. I can't think of the word, but an edit of some of the characters, and it's all like, I love the MCU so much. Follow me if you love the MCU. And I'm just like, people like that exist.
I actually got yelled at on Twitter the other day from a Marvel stan.
Okay. Oh,
it was super funny. Little Karibo put out a tweet saying like, man, I think he said something like, I'm just not really into WandaVision. I feel like,
yeah,
MCU's kind of right now. Mm-hmm. And I replied to it saying, yeah, I feel like it kind of ended at Endgame. I'm just satisfied.
I actually saw.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, well, just because you are done with it doesn't mean other people are done, and you don't speak for us. And I'm like, I said me. right? Like, I think I'm done. And then he didn't reply to me. And then I went to his Twitter because I was really curious. And I went through his tweet replies. Every single tweet he has sent has to do with, like, yelling at people, being like, nah, I'm just not really into the MCU anymore. And then it's just, like, shit like that. And he just keeps going on and on and on about, oh, man, no, the MCU is great. And the fact that you don't want to see it anymore is ridiculous. And fuck you.
I hate people.
Marvel stans are the fucking worst, dude.
But anime fans are also bad.
Oh,
Did you see that
everyone's bad.
screenshot of Vision without his like red makeup on his arm through like his shirt?
Yeah, I saw people theorizing that was like, oh, it's not even Vision because she's getting fucked with. And then people are like, no, it's probably just a mistake because even in a poster of Infinity War, if you look at
Bucky.
Bucky's arm, you can see the just human skin under his metal arm.
I saw someone say, Marvel doesn't make mistakes. They are usually pretty attentive to that. And I was like, maybe it's intentional. And then I saw the Bucky thing, and I was like, no, these fuckers completely. It just feels kind of weird,
See, I won't know if it's intentional or not because I haven't seen a new episode. I guess it's out today. I'll probably watch it later. But, like, if they don't specifically focus on it, I don't think Marvel's smart enough really to do that because, all right, I have some words about WandaVision. So for the most part, I've only seen episodes 1 and 2, mind you. Mm-hmm. For the most part, it's fine, although I think the structure of it's kind of bad considering it's just like a shitty sitcom from the 80s and 90s. So it's just like, it just feels like a lot of waiting until like obviously shit goes down.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whatever. But I complimented this to you privately outside of the podcast, but now I've kind of changed my mind about it, saying like, oh man, it's really neat that there's like a cutaway and there's a fake ad about an Iron Man toaster and they say Tony Stark Industries. And I'm like, now that I think about that, it's way too much in your face to be like, oh, get it. Because right now it's just like, it might as well be an after credit scene. Like, oh my God, yo, it's Thanos. Fucking Thanos is here. It's just like, if it was more subtle, like the Hydra thing, even though the Hydra thing's still kind of in your face, they don't say like, "Oh, hail Hydra." It's just the symbol of the octopus on the watch, and it's like that's in your face, but it's not as like, Tony Stark Industries, and did you know the sound effect that the toaster makes is the Iron Man blast sound effect, and it's Iron Man.
Stuff like that always reminds me of the Superman with Henry Cavill. I don't know. Where they literally frame a cross behind him when he's talking about stuff. And it's like, man, get it? Because we think that Superman's basically Jesus. That's what I think about anytime I see overdone, like, symbolism or imagery.
I can't. I don't like Superman. And I know that's been said to death by people, but it's not just because of the movies. I've seen a lot of DC media before that, like the Justice League old show. I've seen a lot of the DC movies and all that shit. Mm-hmm. Superman I've never found interesting. The best he gets is All-Star Superman, but even that I'm just like, all right, that was a good movie. I still don't give a shit about Superman.
Yeah. My favorite DC movie, because I don't really like hero movies or DC movies, is Shazam. I think it's neat. I think it's fun. When DC tries to be too serious, it's like, eh.
We were binging the Turtles movies a couple weeks ago, and seeing the like transformation between movie to movie is kind of hilarious to me because it's like the first Turtles movie
is like legit.
It's pretty good. It gives you it's enough campy and goofy and funny that you can't really hate it, and it's kind of a good time.
And then they're like, oh, you guys liked comedy and like goofiness?
And then the second movie is not very good, but it's like fine. It's not. It could be worse. It's not great. And then the third movie is like, oh boy, Turtles in Time, man.
I think I blacked out most of that movie.
April gets sent back in time by a magic scepter, and shit just happens.
Man, you can only transfer with someone who's the same weight. Okay, obviously these priests who are going through war, so are probably like nearly starving, are going to weigh the same as turtles with like 100-pound shells.
It's one of those things that people clearly didn't think about when they were fucking making it.
Yeah.
They tried to put the science in, but then you think about it for 2 seconds, you're like, that doesn't really make sense, does it?
And because the Japanese are in war with white people, they know how to speak English.
Yeah, because we are at war with white people, obviously every single one of us knows fluent English because that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And that's why we will only talk to each other in English and not Japanese.
Yeah. Also, what was that prison, that little cell with the giant, like, tube out?
April randomly gets confused by this one prisoner thinking it's Casey.
Yeah.
Because, I guess it looked like him. It's not really.
And didn't they say one of, like, the young kids in the... We didn't finish it because it was awful, but...
You didn't want to finish it. I suggested to put it back on, but you were like, no, I'm done.
But one of the kids, they're like, oh, it's Yoshi. But I don't think they said the last name, so it's like, oh, is this kid Yamato Yoshi or whatever? Oh, you don't know. I mean, we didn't finish it. So it would be really stupid if it was, because this
No, I don't think it is. I just did it to fuck with you.
No, I don't think it is either, but the fact that they specifically named this kid Yoshi is awful.
Maybe they really like Mario.
Maybe it's the
great granddad of Hamato Yoshi.
I named you after your grandfather.
But then we went to the TMNT movie from the mid 2000s, the CGI one.
Yeah.
And it was actually better than I remember. I'm gonna be honest. I had a good time watching that movie.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes I didn't like, and I think it's a tad bit too long.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem with it is it acts like there was a movie before it.
Yeah.
When there definitely wasn't.
Casey acts like a bitch boy for some reason.
And then we got to the Batman Turtles.
Oh boy.
So I actually already previously had seen this movie, like about 2 years prior, and we watched it. And it is not as good as I remember. That was not a good movie.
Pretty garbage.
I remember thinking it was pretty good.
You had my hopes up for it. I was like, all right, I'm ready to enjoy this.
And as I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, I fucking enjoyed this. Like, man, this is like kind of dog shit, actually.
Yeah.
It's better than Turtles in Time, but like... I don't even know if it's better than Turtles 2, to be honest.
What was the one-liner that Batman says at the end?
It's pizza time.
It's pizza time. You can't do that.
Like
the whole code name was bad enough, but it had its purpose, because it's like we had to give him a code, like not a code name, but a code word that he would never say. And it's like, sure, cowabunga or whatever.
Yeah, I get it, but it doesn't make it any less weird. Like, I think if they wanted to do kind of a shitty joke like that and make it weird, he should have said Turtle Power.
Yeah.
Because, like, saying pizza time or, like, cowabunga just does not...
It almost seems like it's trying to do, like, the Splinter thing at the end of the first movie, where it's all like, I've always liked... what did he say?
Fuck. He says cowabunga.
Oh, yeah. I've always liked cowabunga.
Cowabunga. And then they all do it together, and it's cheesy. But he's also a giant mutant rat.
Yeah, and he's their dad. It's like, it's cool. They're they're having a moment, and then it's pizza time. Who are you? That's not Batman.
Okay, so I actually want to talk about this movie a little bit more, because I had a lot more problems with it than I remember. Okay. So, animation-wise, it's mostly fine outside of Donatello's fucking head. What is wrong with this man's head?
Oh, yeah, it's like a bean human shaped.
Like, all the turtles look fine enough, and then you look at Donatello and you're like, Jesus Christ.
This is a man in a turtle suit.
It did not like that at all. This isn't really so much a problem with the movie that it is with versus films. I hate versus films that are like, okay, fucking Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. Fuck yeah, you're looking forward to it. All the trailers show them fighting. They get one fight scene, and it's like 5 minutes long.
Okay, let's team up.
Yeah, and then immediately after, all right, now we're best friends, and we will fight together. And, like, of course it's to be expected, because you get that shit in, like, the Wolverine versus where he fought Hulk, and then Hulk fought Thor.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to happen in King Kong versus Godzilla, if I'm going to be honest. They're going to, like, fight against each other for one scene, and then they're going to team up to fight something. Like, I get it, but I still fucking hate it.
Who do you think they're going to fight?
I don't think it'll be Ghidorah, because...
That'd be kind of stupid.
Yeah, I think Ghidorah would wreck them both. Mecha Ghidorah is fucking super strong.
Yeah.
I think it's like that bat thing that we keep saying, that we keep hearing about. I think it's going to be that weird bat monster.
Okay. But speaking of verses that aren't done right, is when you can do a good versus in your own like universe, right? But the thing is, if you put a versus together, and this is a game specifically, I'm not talking about like film. If you put a versus together in your own universe, don't put the good guys against each other. What I'm specifically referring to is RE-verse, where all the main characters are killing each other for no reason. Nobody wanted to see that. If anything, it'd be like, oh, here's the bad guys, here's the good guys. But it's like a Fortnite Battle Royale type thing where everybody's killing each other.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Okay, I kind of disagree. I like the idea, well, as a power scaler, I like the idea of heroes fighting each other to see which one's the strongest. My problem with versus things is that if it's a movie, a show, or most of the time a game, they will leave it completely unanswered. So it's like, okay, they fight.
They always fucking cop it out.
They fight, and then they're pretty much even ground for no reason, even though you know who the fuck would win. You look at Godzilla vs. King Kong, you're like, do you really think King Kong stands a fucking chance?
Yeah.
Like, you have a giant, scaly radiation monster that shoots laser beams.
And Monkey Man.
And then,
Big
like,
monkey
the only advantage King Kong has over Godzilla is that he has posable thumbs and can, like, grab shit. Other than that, like, if Godzilla got him in the water, King Kong's, like, dead in a second. There's nothing he can do.
I really like Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla's really cool.
I think he's neat. Like, you know, you don't have to give him too much lore. You can just have him fight people on. I think that's really cool.
And see, with versus match, too, I'm fine a lot of the time if they try to keep it so, because most of the time the reason why they don't want either side to win is so like
marketing, branding,
because everyone doesn't want to see their cool guy lose.
Yeah.
So people who like King Kong more than Godzilla would be like, well, no, King Kong lost. Fuck, now I'm never watching these movies again.
Yeah.
And they don't want that. So on occasions, I'm fine with results like that, but they have to make sense. Mm-hmm. Like, if they made it in this King Kong versus Godzilla movie, that Godzilla was just destroying King Kong, no competition, just beating his shit, and then, like, that giant bat monster teams up with King Kong and beats Godzilla's ass, I'd be fine with that. Because I'd be like, okay, well, it took two fucking guys to wreck his shit. That makes a little bit more sense. But to say that they are evenly matched, if Godzilla isn't already, like, fucked up from fighting something else, there is no reason why they should be evenly matched.
I just want to watch all the good scenes from Shin Godzilla again.
And the other time I'm fine if a versus like movie or something like that is if it actually makes sense for it to be a tie. Like Wolverine versus Hulk. I doubt you've ever seen that movie.
No.
It pretty much ends in a stalemate with them sort of teaming up, but not really, because okay, they both can regenerate. Yeah. One has metal claws that can cut through anything, so you can hurt the Hulk, but he can heal.
Yeah.
And Wolverine can't really die, so it's like, okay, stalemate makes sense. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then you watch Hulk versus Thor.
A god compared to...
And I think, I don't remember who the fuck wins that. I think it's Hulk, but like, it's just so unsatisfying.
And I hate technicality wins too. Like, oh, ring out. Fuck you.
See, with the Turtles versus the Batman thing, like, it was pretty obvious even before you watched the movie that if they were to fight, Batman would probably win. Yeah. Because Batman's the strongest and he doesn't afraid of anything.
He what?
He doesn't afraid. It's a meme from fucking Super Mario. Okay. Can you turn on the light, by the way? It's dark as shit in here now.
I don't know. I kind of like the darkness.
I'll keep talking. I don't like it because I can't see you. Fucking scurrying away in the darkness.
I hope it picks up. What one is that?
Just turn them all of them.
Holy fuck.
Ow, my fucking eyeballs.
You told me.
Okay, what was I saying?
Can I get some extra credit?
Versus match. You knew Batman was gonna win.
Yeah.
There's those cases where you just know that their person is going to win, and as well as Batman just being more popular than Turtles.
Man, I wonder who's gonna win. A little butterfly or like
a lion.
Yeah. Well, because of the butterfly effect, obviously the butterfly would wreck the lion if it had the advantage of being a butterfly or some dumb shit.
And I know some people think like versus match and all that kind of stuff's really dumb. I get it, and full disclosure, it is pretty dumb to want to see two fictional characters fight.
Civil War.
But yeah, okay. So that's I feel like a versus match done correctly though, because that's what I was saying with like the Godzilla example. Because I don't think if Iron Man fought Captain America, Iron Man would win, or that Captain America would win.
Okay.
You have a giant metal suit of armor that can fly and shoot he literally could just fly up and shoot lasers at him, and he would win. The best like Captain America could do is just block it or try to deflect it, I guess.
Yeah.
So he flies up, shoots a beam at him. Captain America's fucking dead.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's like okay with the Civil War result is because he's not the only one fighting him. Bucky comes in and they tag team and try to fight his ass, you know, and then his suit gets all fucked up halfway through the fight when they're in that one room where one of his fucking flight things doesn't even work, so he can't even fly anymore.
Yeah.
And he can't shoot lasers out of one of his hands, so it's like, all right, they weakened up Iron Man, so it makes sense why they would win.
Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking about, like, you know that feeling you get when you think back before, what?
I guess I'm running out of storage on my computer.
Oh.
That's not good. Continue.
Well, what you can do is upload your files onto, like, Google Drive so you have more space. But anyways, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
You said you can, and then you stopped.
I completely forgot. It was Captain
America?
Captain America and Iron Man. What was I thinking? What was I
It was about Civil War.
No, I know. I just forgot. You doing it right. I completely forgot. I feel like I had something, but there's just going to be an empty space where I'm thinking.
I can cut it if you want.
Sure. Captain... I keep wanting to say Captain Marvel.
Captain Planet.
Oh, thinking about, you know, a time before, like, a movie or a game came out, you just feel... Thinking about the way you felt before it came out, like the hype for it, or the, oh, I don't care, and then seeing it, and then realizing that movie came out, like... 2-3 years ago, and it's like, whoa. I remember being hyped for this. I remember waiting for this. Now that it's out, it's so weird when things come out, because a lot of the time you're waiting for it for a while, and then it's out, and it's like, it doesn't feel right.
I got more things to say about verses that I didn't think of until just now.
Okay.
So a weird trend that I think it's kind of dead now. It hasn't happened in a few years. Horror movie verses. Why was that a thing?
Because everybody wanted to see who was the stronger, scarier guy.
I want to see Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator, and all the monsters.
Alien versus Predator makes sense because they're both aliens. You know, who's the stronger alien?
And Freddy versus Jason
It doesn't make any sense because Freddy isn't even, like, physical form real. So what... I'm pretty sure the conflict starts is one of them steals each other's kill or something like that.
That's the dumbest shit in the fucking world.
And that's one of the worst movies from either of them.
Are those movies canon to either of their universes?
I don't think so. My dad is, you know, a big horror fan.
Oh wait, no, they are canon. Yeah, I just remembered because I've actually looked into this myself now that I think about it. Because that's the reason. Because Jason in the last movie before that is dead, and Freddy Krueger revives him so he can go through the rest of the sequels. And that's how he comes back to life in a later movie, because he was completely dead.
Okay. But my dad, he loves horror movies. And when Jason X came out, when my dad and my uncle were, like, teenagers, my uncle bought Jason X on, like, DVD or whatever, or VHS, whatever it was, I don't remember. And they put it in, and my dad loves horror movies, but after they watched it, my dad made my uncle throw the copy of that movie away, because he hated it. And my dad puts up with a lot of BS when it comes to movies. Like, he'll watch a boring movie. He'll watch a shitty movie. But that movie was so bad to him, he wanted that copy destroyed.
That's a little bit too much. He needs to chill the fuck out.
I'm pretty sure Jason X is pretty bad. I don't remember seeing it, but I feel like I have. But yeah. What?
I'm doing things, so I'll have to keep talking, sorry. Deleting stuff so I can make some space because it keeps notifying me that I'm running out.
Okay. You keep like stopping me in my thoughts, and I'm having to. I
didn't stop you. I just did this. Yeah, you can see this, audience.
Pizza pie. I guess I'll talk about Resident Evil.
Okay.
Since I kind of brought it up before. I'm really excited about Resident Evil 8. I've loved Resident Evil since I was a child. I saw my dad play it, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool. And the newest one, it's probably going to be bad. It's probably going to be garbage, but I'm going to love the shit out of it, no matter what.
I feel like I've seen a lot less porn of giant MILF vampire than I thought I would already. I thought I would have seen a lot.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of horny, but not, like, lewd things.
Yeah.
I feel like people respect her.
Yeah, whatever. Dude, half the comments are like, fucking step on me, vampire milky shit. Like, there's no respect involved.
I don't think I've seen one, like, actual nude picture. I think it's because of the dress. They want to keep the dress on. Like, I think because of...
Oh, wait, no, I've seen one. I've seen one lewd, but it's not, like, sex. The one of her hugging some dude, and I think he pops a boner and she notices or some shit, and he says something. God, I don't know. It was on Twitter. I think I liked it.
I don't know. I think it's the dress. They want to keep the dress on because it adds to her whole design. You know,
she looks really cool.
Yeah, I think
the only thing I think is pretty lame about her is the knife fingers.
I don't know. I think those are hot.
I don't know why people like them so much. I think it's the corniest shit in the world, especially for, like, a female monster.
A female monster? What do you mean?
Like, I've seen plenty of horror icons that are female that just, okay, so the guys, their faces are, like, skewered and they're monster-like and they're fucked up knife fingers.
I mean, a lot of Resident Evil monsters usually start off... What was that?
I can't have pasta.
Oh. A lot of the monsters start off as, like, humans, and then they slowly, like, what's the word? I'm not degenerate, but is that the word I'm looking for?
Evolve.
No, like, not... Yeah, but I'm trying to think, like, a visceral kind of word to describe it, like...
It's kind of one of them.
Anyways, mutate into something... more grotesque, sometimes slowly, like you know Jack from the 7th one, the Welcome to the Family, son.
Oh yeah.
Like, he starts off obviously as a weird looking dude, but then each time you fight him he gets more and more mutated because you keep fucking him up, and then he just turns into a big elegant monster.
I know, but, like, okay, we'll go back to Resident Evil 7 for instance. All the female monsters in that game, outside of I think the mom of the family, your girlfriend chick, her evil monster form is just her face is scrunched up and she gets long nails.
Well, that's because canon lore ending, whatever, she hasn't devolved enough into the monster to become a monster.
Okay, well, there's that other, I don't remember their name, but there's another monster girl when you find your wife and she's missing again, who's just a little girl with a dress.
Oh, that's the... Spoilers, but that's the main antagonist, and she's an old fucking lady, and she turns into a big monster at the end.
Oh, okay, because I only remember seeing her as a little girl, but, like...
Resident Evil 5, one of the last bosses, one of the... I think second to the last boss, but I can't be sure. It's a really attractive lady, her tits are out, whatever, but she turns into a big monster. Like, before she even becomes, like... You know, she slowly devolves. She just turns into a big monster. And it's just a lot of characters before they're actually big and ugly. They usually have, like, 1 or 2 stages before they're a big monster. Like Wesker, he, like...
Well, then what... Oh, sorry. Then what's the point of the knife fingers then? Because like with the guy like you were mentioning who's like hunting you down through the whole game, he just grab you and like shoot you or stab you or something? He doesn't like.
What are you talking about?
In Resident Evil 7. I don't remember his name. I think you said his name was Jack.
Yeah.
Like when you die by him for a death animation, it's just like he stabs you or shoots you or some shit. You in the demo, the death animation is she whips out her massive monster claw and stabs you in the face.
Well, in Resident Evil 4, there's a dude that literally has a knife arm, and the rest of him's pretty much fine. It's just he has a big knife arm.
I don't know. I personally just think it's kind of lame. I think you could have done something a little bit more creative.
I'm assuming she'll probably evolve.
I know she'll evolve, but like the state that she's in now, if you're gonna do a cool death animation, I wish it was something like kind of imposing than just.
I think it's because people probably think it's hot. But the thing is, she's not a zombie like everybody else.
Everyone's been saying she's a tyrant.
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
I don't know yet. I don't know. She could be. I personally don't think she is. I think that'd be really dumb if she was. But fuck, what was it? You keep making,
I didn't say anything.
You said I think she's a tyrant.
Fuck.
But she's not a zombie like everybody else. From what everybody's saying, she's a vampire. So, I don't know what they're planning, what they're gonna do. We won't know until it comes out. But as of right now, she doesn't have a reason to be deformed and like all like intimidating.
Then why can she turn off and on her monster claw?
Because she's a vampire. I've seen a lot of like vampire designs.
You'd think if it was a vampire, she'd have like super strength and like just like grab you by the neck or just pop your fucking head off or something. Like I'm looking for something like kind of menacing when it comes to a death animation.
I mean, people have said that's her castle, but why did she make the doorway so short? And people are just saying intimidation, Yeah,
but that's if that is the reason, that's really cool. Yeah. But like the knife hands to me are just kind of, I don't know, sort of lame when it comes to a giant towering figure. Like, okay, let's say you have an Attack on Titan. We're gonna go back to that. You have a Titan, and instead of eating you, they punched you to kill you. Which one do you think would threaten you more? Like, which one do you think you'd be scared of? A punch or them like eating you?
Eating you.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, getting cut up is kind of Ethan's brand. Like, you can lose, like, both of your arms, I think, in the game. You always lose one arm, but you can also lose another arm, and you can just put it back on. And that's just kind of what Ethan does. I hope they explain that, because people are like, oh, I thought he was infected, but they didn't say anything. But, who knows?
Resident Evil's so fucking dumb.
It is, but I love it. I like, even though I hate when stuff gets more, like, needlessly, like, complicated and, like, pretentious, I think it adds to it. Kind of, like, it's trying to be serious, but the fact that it's trying to be serious is hilarious, and I find it kind of charming, because it's dumb, but it's fun.
And with the monster hand, the knife hands, too, I feel like, because her whole design is about being elegant and being extra, like, you talk all fancy, you're dressed all fancy and all this. You'd think if she were to kill you as a, like, just a normal thing before she goes all crazy monster, it'd be something that's kind of clean, like she wouldn't want to get her hands dirty. So it's either, I feel like they should have gone really brutal, like she pops your head off, either that or just like, okay, let's say she does have her knife hands. Like, let's just say one finger can turn into a knife, so like,
yeah,
and you're dead. Like, right up to your throat and just turns on the knife hand. Just.
I don't think that's actually a death animation, though, is what I'm coming to. Because, like I said, Ethan gets mutilated all the time, and he just puts his body parts.
Stabbed in the face?
I mean, I don't know.
Because she picks you up by the neck, and then it does this in the camera.
I don't know what is canon, because, you can get through a Resident Evil game with no damage or, getting fucked up a lot. Like I said, Ethan can lose an arm, and that's, like, part of the gameplay. So I don't know what his regenerative abilities are. And I don't know what...
Okay.
I don't know. It's dumb, but I love it.
That is pretty dumb.
There was another thing I was going to mention, but I forgot. Not your fault. Leon. But yeah. Resident Evil's just got a special place in my heart. There's a lot of stuff I wish I could see from it, and it seems like they actively don't do some of the things that people want to see, but I still enjoy it, and I'm probably still going to like it a lot.
Final topic for today.
Okay.
So there's a new season of anime going.
Okay.
ReZero.
Okay.
I feel like it's appropriate that we at least address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Because the elephant might grab you with his crazy shadow hand.
Okay.
Spoilers for ReZero.
Yeah.
Fucking Unseen Hand was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
That was super fucking radical.
That episode was really good.
Him getting his gate broken and Amelia doing the pose was like the raddest shit.
My name is simply Amelia.
It was all great.
What was that YouTuber that you were watching saying about how his gate broke and he can't use Shamrock anymore?
Fucking, mind. My mind don't work. I don't know.
You love ReZero and you can't think about
a thing a YouTuber said online? Yeah, I can't.
So I thought, what I assumed is when his gate is broken, he can use magic more often.
But no. It's the complete opposite. They've even said that in season 1, that they're like, if your gate gets overused, that you could die. Because when he used Shamrock, it's just, how they described it is like, if I remember right, it's like, let's say you had a funnel. So you have you know what a funnel is? You gave me the look like you didn't know, so that's why I was asking.
just trying to follow along what you were talking about.
Okay, so you have a funnel, and let's say you're putting water through the funnel.
Okay.
So normally through a funnel, like little drips of water would come out through the bottom. Mm-hmm. But for his case, when he used Shamrock, it's like if you dumped a bucket through the funnel, so it just pours out water out of the bottom.
Okay.
In which case the funnel would rip, if it was made of paper or something, I guess.
Yeah.
And it would destroy the funnel. So what he did with the Unseen Hand broke his gate.
Okay.
And like the YouTuber said, like it nearly killed him because his gate is broken.
So he won't be able to use magic anymore?
By the sound of it, probably, yeah.
Oh, that
And the
sucks.
only reason he can use Unseen Hand is because of the Sloth Witch factor.
Which sucks for him because it's gonna be painful for him.
I mean, I still think that's rad as shit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna suck that we can't see Shamrock anymore because I think it's.
I mean, maybe he can somehow get his like gate repaired. I doubt it, but yeah.
I mean, it seems like there should be no way that Rem gets revived, but I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
She's not dead. She's just mind wiped.
Well, yeah, but the concept of eating her memories and her name, it doesn't sound like something you can just undo.
Yeah.
But, I'm assuming she's going to come back from being, nothing.
I do have sort of like minor problems with the second half so far, but they're not like jeopardizing to me in any way.
Yeah.
So when we had the Puck episode with Puck like seemingly being like actually dead, it was a big deal. And I don't, as of right now, because we don't have an explanation for it, I don't really like the idea that Puck is like fine.
Yeah.
Because it could be that he just made another deal with Subaru to get him in that, and like a new contract was made. That's fine. But since we haven't gotten that explanation yet, it's just like, oh, Puck's alive for some reason. I don't like that.
Yeah. I've never really liked Amelia as a character. I've thought she was necessary and like fine as a plot device. And like you were saying, I like that she's here and we're actually interacting with her because we don't actually get a lot of that during the show. But after that episode, she actually feels like
A character.
Yeah,
she
like
feels like a person.
it feels like someone who's not plot, not just plot.
I think right when she became like number 2 wife who still can't beat Rim. Sorry, Amelia fans. It was when she did the pose.
Yeah.
And when you pointed that out to me, I'm like, what? That's amazing. That's great. I loved that.
Do you think you would have found that out if I didn't point it out?
I probably would have found out because I'm planning to rewatch the entire season again for the 3rd time because that's what I do. So I probably figured out like the second or third route
Yeah.
of going through it, but on first watch, no, I did not notice it.
I think it's so cute, and it's like it's stiff. Like it looks like a copycat, but like when you're trying to copy something, but you don't have the whole like aesthetic around it.
Yeah.
I think that's an adorable detail. Like she's trying to copy it, but she doesn't have it down. It's her own thing.
And by the way, we were anime onlys. I think it was interesting as hell that like her talking to Echidna, they like acted as if they've already met before. Which
hey sis.
Yeah, like is fucking Amelia like Satella's daughter or some shit?
I mean, she said that she's the daughter of a witch.
So what witch would that? She's the ice witch.
We've seen a little bit about her mom, which doesn't look like Satella, but because of, I'm not going to say it because this isn't anime yet, but because of her father figure, is that an adopted family? Like,
Maybe.
is her mom adoptive?
Slothful. I love that. Sloth. God, it's great. I mean, maybe. That could be it. What's her name? Shekmet? It's something Met. The name of the sloth.
Setmet?
Sekhmet? Or something. It's something Mit.
Yeah.
Fucking... It has to be someone who's a half-elf or an elf of some kind. Mm-hmm. And so it wouldn't be Typhon, which is good, because nobody wants to fuck kids. It wouldn't be Minerva. It'd be very odd if it was.
It could only...
Be Echidna.
I mean, the way she treated her...
Probably not.
I think she would be more familial, even if she was being... Familial? Like...
Familiar.
No, familial, like family.
Oh, I've never heard that word used in my life.
I hate when you try to correct me on things that aren't wrong.
Oh my god. All right, we're breaking up. You fucking...
We aren't even dating. Even if she was being mean to her, I feel like it would have had some more, like, familial sense to it.
Familial.
Yes. Like, she would have been like, you disgusting daughter. You know, I feel like it would have been more personal.
I don't know.
So I think, theory, she might be the daughter of Satella.
I still think it's awesome that Beatrice is basically the daughter of Echidna. It's super, I guess, daughter, air quotes, since she made her.
Yeah.
But that's still really cool.
It's so funny how the show gives you information, and it's like they know it's going to be a big thing, but they almost don't acknowledge it to be like, here's this information. Like, they're giving it to you with a grin behind the scenes. Like, they know you're going to freak out, but they don't acknowledge it in a way that it's like, yeah, this is a big thing. You know what I mean?
It's super good.
It's like the whole thing with Garfield being 14. They made a big deal about it because, haha, funny. But a lot of the other bigger information, that they just give it to you, and they don't make a big deal out of it. I think it's hilarious. They're giving it to you with a little smirk, a little haha.
I still find it hilarious that we haven't gotten the fucking opening or ending song yet, dude.
Yeah. I don't know if it will.
It's been really weird. I feel like we have to get it at least by, next episode.
I don't know if we said this on the podcast before, but give me the opening, but only once.
Give me the opening and ending song only once and then never show it to me again. Or upload the opening and ending song online and just don't even play it in an episode. Just say fuck it.
But there's no point to doing it that way.
Well, just let me see it. Let me see it without it. Because I love what they're doing, how they're just giving us extended episodes just to say, hey.
I feel like nobody does that.
Yeah, I've never seen an anime just say, all right, we want to spend as much time on this as we can, so just fuck the opening and ending song at all times. Give us, the full 30 minutes to give all the information we can give.
It seems like almost everybody they use the opening and ending to their advantage. They pad time between those. They're like, we don't have an episode.
Because I rewatched season 1 of ReZero 3 different times. Each time I forget that the first episode is 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's the first episode, and it gives you everything you need to know, and you're like, damn, this is a good-ass studio.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game. I'll probably review it on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
That's my last topic.
What are we at?
An hour and 4 minutes.
That's pretty good.
You ready to wrap things up?
I suppose.
Any final words, Mango? Your last episode.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun over here and doing the podcast. It's been a new and exciting experience for me, and I'm going to miss it, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity.
You should give like a final message to each individual fruit we got in the group.
Nobody's going to listen.
So, you can do it anyway. A goodbye. Your final thoughts on each person.
Okay, name out a name and I'll give.
Tomato.
Why'd you start with tomato?
Apple.
No. I'll do tomato. But you're fun to be around. I think. I don't know. He's probably him and Plum are the least amount of time spent probably, but I think you're fun to be around, and I think you're pretty funny and just pretty chill most of the time.
Plum.
Like I've seen him even less than Tomato. Can be entertaining in the right mood.
Banana.
Fucking crazy as hell, but super fun to be around. Funny because you're a fucking idiot.
Strawberry.
I don't. There's a gnat or a mosquito or something.
That's not a fruit. Strawberry.
I don't know you very well, but I think you're pretty cool, and I feel like I'm doing like a TVH or whatever. To be honest.
Oh, okay.
like my status for to be honest. But yeah, I think you're pretty nice, and I have fun being over at your apartment and stuff.
Apple.
Probably the person we've spent the most time with. I'm bad at descriptors, but funny, nice to hang around, very outgoing, and a nice guy to watch.
Nice ass.
I'm not gonna say anything about
nice
that.
ass. This one's for you, Apple.
No. A nice guy to just watch anime with and talk about dumb anime bullshit with, especially when you get mad.
Guacamole.
I hope you learn how to make food. It was fun teaching you how to make boiled water.
Pear.
You hold a very special place in my heart, and thank you for having me, and I'm really gonna miss all of this.
All right. I'm gonna miss you a lot too.
This has been Mongo.
And I'm Pear. And we are... Actually, I guess you should do the outro, since it's your last one.
What should I say?
Whatever you want to say.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been the ProducePodcast, episode 13. Bad number. We'll see you next time. I probably won't be around for a while, but I hope you enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.